use the finance and the capital operations. As a result, the company may not be in a position to refund the customer's deposit when they become due. In the circumstances, the accuracy and the existence of the refundable deposit balance of Kenya shilling 11,746,406 will not be confirmed.
Governor, the management response.
Thank you, Chairman. The management concurs with the auditor's observations that the company borrowed from the customer's deposits account. This borrowing was to help the company meet exigent operations, especially payment of salaries to staff, to avert a possible employee go-slow. However, following a Board of Directors resolution stopping all borrowings from the account, the management has since ceased any further borrowing. The Appendix 4 is an extract of the minutes of the Board of Directors stopping borrowing of customer deposits. I thank you, Chairman.
Auditor, your comments on the response?
Thank you, Chair. We have seen the responses, and one of the areas that probably, because it has already been indicated because of the cash flow, that's when the fund has been used, which again is the contrary of the requirements. But if the money can be refunded back, and we'll do the follow-up in terms of, again, the 2024-25 audit cycle, just to see in terms of whether this deposit has already been refunded back.
Very well. Maybe I'll ask the legal officer to read out the provision on internal borrowing, the PFM.
Yeah, that is under Section 142 of PFM that states that on borrowing by county government entities, and it provides that the county assembly may authorize short-term borrowing by county government entities for cash management purposes only. Subsection 2, any borrowing under subsection 1 may not exceed the 5% of the most recent audited revenues of the entity. And 3, a county government entity that has any such borrowing shall ensure that the money borrowed is repaid within a year from the date on which it was borrowed. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. Senator Mudama, I know you are very passionate on issues of customer borrowing. I know you'll take too long. Let me ask the others, to start with the others first. Any other member before I come to Senator Mudama? Okay, let me leave it to you then. Proceed.
Yeah, was that money borrowed from the customer's deposits account? And did they get permission from the board and from the county assembly approval? And if not, then that law stands.
Yes, Senator Kisang.
Thank you, Chair. From the response that the governor has read, what I thought they would have presented is a plan on repayment of the deposit. You know, there's no plan. So you've admitted you borrowed, but you've said you are not going to stop borrowing. And what you have in the bank account is 26,000. So what the 11 million that is still outstanding that you have not repaid, you know, we thought you'd give us that, you know, already the board has resolved, and there is this particular plan that you are going to maybe every month put this particular amount to the deposit account, or you budget, I don't know.
Governor, your response.
I'd like to give it to the CEO to respond to Senator Mudama's question, whether the money was borrowed and whether there were approvals.
CEO.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, the money was borrowed, but from our records, we don't have any historical proofs that there were authorization to have this money used. But the current board has pronounced itself, stopped this, and we as a company, we have obeyed, and we are not borrowing from this account. So what is there is historical. What we have not included is a payment plan, which we will have to organize and how to money into this account on a monthly basis until the full amount is recovered. Thank you.
So when can you provide the payment plan to the committee?
Because Chair, also, the law says that this year should be, that this money should be returned within a year. I know it is not their borrowing, but they should have, a good plan to, because these are customers' monies, and when customer disconnect their services, they want their deposits back.
Yes.
You cannot tell them it is not you, it is the company. So what plan do you have to refund this money as soon as possible?
Thank you, Chair. With the with our improved position and looking at the performance, I believe we can be in a position to start remitting monies into this account with immediate effect, that is effective 1st of next month. So we will come up with a payment plan which we can easily share with the committee if and when needed. Thank you.
Yes, Governor.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman. I think the payment plan will be instituted, but I also wanted to bring to the attention of the committee the practical aspects that the companies actually go through. Sometimes they have to go and borrow, they may even have to go and borrow money from the bank or from the county, somewhere, because they're always in constraint. So when you're looking overally at the water companies and their sustainability, when you're looking at the overall picture, finally, and you have an opportunity to relook at the regulations, maybe one of the things you could look at is there a possibility to legally provide this window with a framework so that a company doesn't leave money like now we have to raise 11 million, which has been gathering for over the last nearly 10 years, and then you put it in an account, and then it keeps quiet there. Then you now start going to look for another place to look for money to fund your day-to-day operations. Just from a practical point of view, finally, when you're looking at the overall sustainability of these companies, if it is something you could consider and provide a framework so that the companies remain afloat. It is just a suggestion from a practical point of view, but just to commit that I will follow up with the company to ensure we have a plan and that the monies are returned, because customers cannot wait for their deposits when they are withdrawing. Thank you, Chair.
I think maybe at the level of COG, these are some of the amendments that you can propose to us. As we are going to look at the next entity, you will realize that some of these laws are not practical, but we need a trigger maybe from your end for us to be able to help you through amendments. So, but we look forward to your payment plan. CEO, after how long are you going to provide this committee with a payment plan?
This we can do in a fortnight.
How many?
In 2 weeks.
14 days. So we give you 14 days to submit to the clerk. So, honorable members, that brings us to the end of the review of the audited report for the water company. Now we proceed to review the municipality, Homabay municipality. So we can have staff from the municipality take your positions. So, honorable members, as earlier agreed, we have a number of queries, but this is how we will proceed. We have some queries touching on bookkeeping matters and the accuracies, errors that we will cover in a query on lack of independence of the municipality. And this query matters of finance, matters of functions, and matters of even the strategic plan. So I think we'll proceed in that manner. We look at bookkeeping issues, which is non-compliance with the prescribed reporting framework. And then we have inaccuracies in financial statements, unsupported budget adjustments, those ones. And then from there, we proceed to the query on lack of independence. But before we do that, I'm told there are some officers from the municipality who had not been put on record. Maybe, Governor, you can guide us on that.
I'd like to ask officers who are not here during introduction to please introduce themselves.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. My name is Sigara Gumba, Municipal Manager, Homabay.
Martin Ombewa, Accountant, Homabay Municipality.
Martin, we can't see. Some of us can't see.
Martin Ombewa, Accountant, Homabay Municipality.
Geoffrey Odhiambo, Municipal Board Member, Homabay Municipality.
Okay, very well. I thought I had seen you.
Okay, I'm Dr. John Agili. I'm the CCM in charge of water, sanitation, environment, energy, forest, and climate change.
Okay, Auditor, proceed. You give us your brief report, and then the members, I would not require the auditor to read out the query, but we will have a discussion around issues of bookkeeping. And then the auditor, you will now present the query on independence. So just give a summary report.
Thank you, Chair. The report of Auditor General on the financial statement for Homabay Municipality for the year ended 30th June 2024. It's a qualified opinion. In terms of the summary of the issues, as you guided here, we had 17 issues. Out of 17 issues, 5 were addressed, 6 not addressed, and some of them you have even highlighted in terms of the discussions, and 6 are partially addressed. So the first issue probably is that, as you guided, is about non-compliance with the prescribed reporting framework. I may not be able to read the details as you guided, and then the issue of the inaccuracies in the financial statements.
Let's comment on those bookkeeping issues. Just a comment.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. There is a template we normally, it's been provided by the Public Account Standard Board in terms of when we do the reportings. But arising from that, when we do the audit of this entity, the municipality, you realize there's some non-compliances in terms of that templates. Key among them is about the footnote issues. It may not be material issues. But if you look in terms of even the cash flows, the way it was presented, it's not complying with that. And the issue of even the notes of the property and plants is not aligned into the financial statements. But if it comes to the issue of the inaccuracies of the financial statements, there was a fund which has already been received, but it was reported in the financial position, and the standard requires that it's supposed to be reported in the changes in the net assets. So it's about accounting of those funds that has already been received. So that brings in issue about non-compliance of the reportings as more of the accountings.
Senator Kisang?
Chair, this is not the first time we are seeing such issues, Chair. This is basically issues about competence. So maybe I need to find out from the governor. I mean, we have the CC here, we have the chief officer finance, and the accountant in charge of this particular municipality. I don't know if the accountant, the one who signed, is qualified. Is he a CBAK? Is he on good standing? Because these are errors that should not arrive in Senate.
Maybe you need to ask the auditor.
Yes.
In the financial statements that you have, who signed those statements?
Yes, auditor. Who signed the statements?
Thank you, Chair. We have CPA Martin Homabay Ogiere, the head of accounting services. Spec number 27659.
Clerk, can you check the status of that member of ISPAC?
The Chair, CBA Ogiere Martin Homabay, member number 27659, status active, status, membership status is active, status not in good standing.
Is Martin here?
Yes.
Okay, can you give him a mic? So you are the one who signed the financial statements?
Yes.
Why are you not in good standing with the ISPAC?
I have not, for the current year, I have not achieved the CBD points that is 40, require the ISPAC requirement to be in good standing. But I've achieved some points that at the end of the year will make me to be in good standing.
Senator Bugwa?
Maybe you can also clarify to the committee, did you prepare and sign, or you only signed and somebody else prepared the financials for you?
I prepared the statements and signed the statement.
Yeah, can our legal read the law, what the law says?
Now, maybe before they read the law, I want the chair to put a question then to the accountant. If really you're in good standing, you're a CBAK, okay, I'm an IT fellow, I thought these errors should not arise. And also, you should follow the standards, because, I mean, these are things that you do every day. So why are you coming to embarrass yourself here because of inaccuracies?
And maybe as you respond to that, are you aware of the Public Sector Accounting Standard Board framework?
Yes, sir.
Why did you not apply it in this case? Because there is a query on that.
The non-compliance in query number 1 was about the footnotes in the financial statement, which does not affect the accuracy of the financial statement, but is about the linkage of the formulas that are used to link the pages numbers in the financial statement.
So it doesn't matter, it's still the format. You have been given a format. And also there are inaccuracies in the financial statements. Did you notice the inaccuracies?
I noticed the inaccuracy when the final reports were out, but you know, the inaccuracy number one in question 2 states that we treated the funds under financial performance and expense it fully. But in the appendix, the last page of the financial statement, when we were capturing the listing is where we put it under development, which is not required. So it was not affecting the accuracy of the financial performance, but the appendix of listing, that's where we didn't capture it correctly.
Chair,
Yes.
I'm just wondering why it did not do the amendments during the audit report when the auditors were there. Why didn't he do the amendments then?
Martin, you know you are still in the stands.
Yes, the amendment was done, and as I've said that the amendment was done in the draft report, and we realized that the errors were still standing in the final report. So there were some omissions in that amendment that were done. So the question number 1 and number 2 remained unsolved during the amendment.
Let me go to your bosses now. The Chief Officer Finance. When you are preparing financial statement, do you have a system of quality assurance checks on this financial statement before they are signed?
I thank you, Chair and committee. We do have a system of reviewing the financial statement. And what happened in this case for this particular one we are discussing now is that by the time the amendments were being done in the financial statement, the process of finalizing and certification of the report for the audit had actually happened. That is why the certificate had already been issued when some of these amendments were yet to be factored in. I think there was a communication breakdown in the process of communicating the amendments to the auditors, and also the timeline difference between when they were communicated and when the certification was done. But there is a process, and they were realized during the process. It's only that the communication and their inclusion in the final report where there was a miscommunication, Chair. But there is a process, and it was actually implemented during this one. But it is only that there was that mishap between the process and the audit finalization.
Chair,
Yes.
MP, for clarification, did the CEO of Finance attend the exit meeting?
Through the Chair, thank you. We attended the exit meeting, and it is at the exit meeting where we discussed the amendment, and we were given time to forward the amendments or the changes that were agreed before the auditors finalized on the report. So it was at that point where the communication went when the report had been finalized. But we were there for the meeting, and we agreed on what to be amended.
You know, Chief Officer and the CEC Finance and all the accountants, we are very particular on these matters because sometimes matters which ideally should not be queries are appearing in audit reports. And we are finding that to be incorrect, because you have the professional responsibility to ensure that these small issues like errors do not appear in your financial statements. And we have said, moving forward, that's why we have spent more time on you. Moving forward, we are going to report you people. And if you don't know it, the Treasury sits in our meeting. Today they didn't come, but they usually offer capacity development and training to counties. You can request for that. I mean, you cannot come here and start talking about simple things like that. So I think that was important for us to communicate that to you, that moving forward, we will not be very kind on you people. We will report you to your professional body and even ask the governor to take administrative action on you people. So maybe let me allow the governor to say something and then we close on that.
Chair, maybe before the governor says something, can the accountants tell us if they've been submitting financial reports and non-financial reports to the treasury and control of budget and the Auditor General monthly?
Yes, we have been doing that.
Okay, Governor.
Thank you, Chair. I don't want to add any more to what yourself, Chair, and the senators have said. I think all the professionals are here, and they have heard what is there to be done. We were discussing the queries, and I was of the same opinion that I don't know accounts. Even if I'm reading about the accounting issues, I don't understand them very well. So they need to be cleared with, so that we deal with the more substantive issues when we come, and issues where I can actually intervene and make a difference. Thank you, Chairman.
Okay, thank you very much. So let's proceed to the substantive query on independence, lack of independence.
Thank you, Chair.
And as I said, a number of queries relate to this. So, honorable members, even as you interact with this query, you can bring in other issues in the other queries so that we save on time. Lack of independence of Homabay municipality.
Thank you, Chair. Lack of independence of Homabay municipality. That's on page 15 of the summary. The municipality of Homabay was granted a municipality charter in March 2019, which was supposed to grant operational independence from the county government of Homabay. However, the review of the operations of the municipality revealed lack of autonomy, as the municipality's budget was prepared and controlled by the county executive, and there was no budget approval by the municipality board. Further, the county government has continued to perform a number of functions which were transferred to municipality as provided for under paragraph 5 of the Homabay Municipality Charter, including the promotions, regulations, and provision of the refuse collections and solid waste management services. This is in contravention of section 12.1 of the Urban Areas and Cities Act 2011, which states that the management of the municipality shall be vested in the county government and administered on its behalf by board, and managers and staff constituted and appointed in accordance with the Act. In the circumstances, the management of the county government of Homabay is in the breach of law.
Governor, your management response.
Thank you, Chairman. The management wishes to state that the municipality's budgets are discussed and approved by the municipality boards. Further, functions of the municipality have already been gazetted, and there is a continuous and progressive operationalization process of the municipal board's mandate. Additionally, the Homabay municipality operates independently from the county executive with its own board of Directors, and we have attached the Gazette notice of the transfer of functions, as well as the board approval of budgets, Appendix 10A and Appendix 13. Thank you, Chairman.
Okay, very well. Auditor, your comments on the management response?
Thank you, Chair. The management provided the Gazette notice, which was also provided, and a minutes of the board approvals for the budget has been provided. But in terms of the responses, where there is a continuous progression of operation, it means there are a number of activities probably that still require some transfers. So it's an area that we still keep in view in terms of if all those functions can be transferred to the municipality.
So maybe before I allow the members to chip in, there are related queries to this, which maybe the governor will just comment on them. There is issues related to lack of ownership of assets, that is property, plant, and equipment. There is the issue of failure to collect on-source, on-generated revenue by the municipality. There is the issue of lack of monitoring and evaluation framework and report, issues of lack or failure to adhere to budget. There is the issue of functions which have not been transferred to the municipality. There is the issue of lack of approved staff establishment. And there is the issue of failure to achieve strategic priorities by the municipality. Maybe you just can comment on that, and then a general comment on this query. Then the members, you can weigh in. Governor.
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, on the lack of ownership documents, plant and property, land documentation sometimes takes a bit of time because it's not within our mandate alone. But the way we responded to the query, we have already signed the part development plan and sent to Survey of Kenya. So it is in the process of, and this is the land for the municipal market. So it's in the process of coming back in the name of the municipality. So that's in progress, as well as the others. In terms of the on-source revenue, Chairman, we centralized our on-source collection through one system. But what we've done is, if you look at Appendix 4C, it details, we have revenue officers for the municipalities and revenue staff in the municipalities. So they just don't collect the money, but the money collected from the municipalities is attributed to the various municipalities. And you can see there is a report there that in the year 23-24, Homabay municipality collected 62,627,000, and it's broken down by the streams, the revenue streams. So the revenue collection is happening in the municipalities. In terms of the monitoring and evaluation frameworks and reports, I think that is the finance team is handling. And there is a monitoring and evaluation framework that we use as a county that has also been availed for use by the municipalities. In terms of the lack of approved staff establishment, we have a consolidated staff establishment in which the municipalities also are a part of. But you know, they need to do this on their own as well. But as I said, Chairman, we were coming from somewhere, and we're almost getting to where we need to be. In terms of failure to achieve the strategic priorities by the municipality, we looked at the targets in the strategic plan, and there is need to review the strategic plan and put targets that you can that are actually achievable. Because if you say you're moving from 15% to 100% of drainages, for example, some of those targets, you can just put them in a strategic plan because it's a document. But we felt there's a need for review of those strategic priorities and make them attainable within the time that is of the strategic plan. Coming back to the query on the lack of independence of the Homabay municipality, we devolved the functions. We have moved the staff. I mean, the staff are with the municipalities. The boards are stronger. We spent the last financial year trying to give some level of financial autonomy also to the municipalities, so that they are able to budget and requisition their own monies, which we have now attained. They budget, they finalize, they only requisition money through the IFMIS like everybody else through the normal system. So, Chairman, I don't think we are where we need to be in terms of the independence of the municipality. Let me admit that we are not where we need to be in terms of the municipalities running independently as they should. And I think we're going to have to work very, very hard to attain that, because of the way people operate in the counties. You know, people have responsibility. For example, there is a Department of Environment, and they are trying to also earn their keep by making sure the town is clean. Then you are trying to move that entire responsibility to the municipalities. And you know, rural counties like ours, it's only that town that is going to be clean. The other villages, you know, nobody is going to clean in the villages. So it is a tussle, but we have to push towards it, Chairman. We have moved, we have done the next year, Chairman, that this matter is fully resolved. So just give us a bit of time to work on the cultural and the mindset. Thank you, Chairman.
Okay, Governor, you know, this query appears in almost all the municipalities. And, you know, we want to have a candid discussion on this matter. Because whereas the law, the Urban Areas and Cities Act, talk of independence of municipalities, we have realized that it is not practical because counties feel that they are going to use the main revenue source. They are going to seize control of some key functions to the municipalities. Is that the case? Given that you have, in your response, you have indicated that it is not going to be easy. So, because we want to help you as a Senate, if it is an issue of amending the law, so that to align the law to the practical situation on the ground, because the cities, the Urban Areas and Cities Act seems to suggest that the entire issue of revenue collection and management should be the preserve of the board and the municipality, and yet there is a county there with an elected governor. How practical is that, and how can we help you in dealing with those loopholes in the law? So I think that is a matter that we keep discussing with the governors. So maybe you can say something about that.
Thank you, Chairman, for, I think, bringing it out maybe clearer. I was trying to to go around it a bit. But Chairman, I think the Urban Areas and Cities Act presumes our maybe old centralized system where then the municipalities are there. It's like our old municipal councils, which were the ones that were on ground. So, especially because of the donor funding that is associated with urban areas, counties have tried to maneuver and find a way, like for example, revenue. There's no way we are going to say that the municipality is going to collect the revenue on their own and spend it. It's not practical, and that is why to work around it, we have said, yes, there will be municipal revenue collectors, there will be, municipal revenue officers. We will account for the revenue within the municipality, but the collection is just done centrally because you realize that is all the revenue. If you remove the revenue collected in municipalities, there's no other, apart from cess from sand, there's no other, there's no other revenues in the counties. That is the truth of the matter. So I think it is a matter to continue to discuss so that practically we have these institutions working, but also working in recognition that the county governments are here and it is not the old system that we have. We have a new devolved system, a government that is also on the ground. Thank you, Chairman.
Honorable members, you can chip in. Senator Mbogo.
Thank you, Chair. The governor is being honest because even if you look at the forwarding notes of response, she's admitting that these other municipalities, that is Diwa, Bita, Kedube, and Yugis, have not been operationalized. So we understand you, Governor, because even these municipalities, when you create them, there is the flow of maybe cash from the donors. But the problem is you as the COG, you are sitting with this problem and you are not escalating it to the Senate so that we can make the amendments. Because the issue is not only in Homabay, it is all over. So probably it is time you sit down, you engage the relevant committees of the Senate, because this issue will still recur next year. And I know when you come here next year, you'll still have to address the other 4 municipalities, and it will be worse. So we better have the mechanism to address them. Thank you.
Chair.
Senator Kisang.
I agree with Mbuko. Okay, we've discussed these things with the other counties. Maybe also the governor needs, when they sit as Council of Governors, you also look at the donors. You know, the donor is talking about independence. So you can also sit down with them so that you agree on a framework, so that the amendments that you will propose for us to move for you, you are also in agreement with the donors, so that we don't amend, and then it gives you a problem with the funds that you get from the donors associated with independence.
Yeah, you see now, you have said something about the donors. You know, what we see in other municipalities is that they attempt to do some of these things, like gazetting the transfer of functions, appointing a board, and it stops there. The body will never meet, the body will never transact anything, and that is all to get the donor support, and then it stops there. That's why we need really to amend the law. Amida, and then Beatrice.
No, Chair, I must commend Governor, because she's actually admitting that the municipality, of course, you know, the responsibilities is eating into the actual responsibility of the county government. I like that, because we've had other counties that have really struggled and, you know, fight, of course, and refuse to accept, you know, this responsibility. In fact, I look at it, it's like more the cows grazing together, but then, you know, like they're all afraid of finishing grass for one another. That's what I look at.
Senator Beatrice.
Thank you, Chair. I would like to make this comment because I also happen to have been a key player in the Urban Areas and Cities Act. The Urban Areas and Cities Act envisaged a situation where governments would remain facilitative and macro managers and overseers of the process, and municipalities given their nature, would then remain with the urban services provisions as the governments oversee the standards and the policies. Chair, it is similar to what we are grappling with nationally, where functions are devolved, and then the national government sticks on a number of these functions. If you look at the health, and with the fear that, not a fear, and this is not primarily peculiar to Homabay, it is a national thing. But I think key to it was on the idea that services would be more efficient and effectively performed, but of course still in the purview of the county governments. Here the governor, like we hear all other governors, but I think the basis was that the governments would remain macro in management and see that services go down. It is like what we have handled with the Homawasco. Sale Homawasco is within the county government, but it's given the operationalization of water and the delivery of that services. Then the World Bank also expected a situation where you'd fund the counties to create the municipalities to ensure that services went down, and they would run like enterprises, basically just to ensure that services are offered. But we hear it is a common issue, and we'll need to deal with it.
I think the way forward is to look at the law and amend it appropriately. Otherwise, if we don't do that, Governor, next year it will still be a query. Yeah, so I think as Senator Kisanga Bogo has said, the Council of Governors, you need to sit down and suggest the amendments we need to do. For example, you could say you can give the municipalities some powers, but agree on how you're going to share revenue, how you're going to collaborate in collecting revenue, and how you're going to share revenue from that. So it is upon you, you directors as defenders of devolution on what we can do for you. Otherwise, it will still continue being a query, and for us, we will prosecute the query as it comes.
Chair, just to add on that, Governor, we are defenders of devolution. And at times, you governors should call us senators and tell us what challenges you're going through. But you kind of keep away from us. And we are here to fight for you. We are here to advise where possible. And we are here to make any laws that, can make devolution work, because we are here to make devolution work.
Okay, I think we now come to the end on this matter. Governor, we will request that those recommendations members have given, they be taken very seriously. We shall also send a written interim recommendation to you for action. So, honorable members, we come to the end. I am not going to allow final comments.
No, please allow me. I'm president.
Because you are the president, or what?
Please.
Okay. I'll allow very brief comments, 1 minute, and then the governor makes a final.
Thank you, Chair. I really want to appreciate Governor and her team, and just to remind the team that Homabay is rated highly in terms of performance. And please, I'm only concerned, a few of you are not being very keen on your roles in the county. Please don't let the governor down. Our eyes are on her because she carries the hopes of many women in this country. So thank you very much. God bless you. Go and continue serving Homabay in your best.
I will, Beatrice, and then
Thank you, Chair. On behalf of the Homabay delegation, and particularly the Senator of Homabay, who was not able to be here, We welcome you, Homabay County, and we are looking forward to this good performance that we are looking for. We are able to support you, and I can assure you the senator is available for you any other time. Thank you.
Senator Topingo, I will allow you because you know me and you, we are seeking that high office.
You are on teaching practice.
Yes, Chair, and because of that, we particularly want to address what's not working in the counties here so that we don't find a problem when we go there. So Governor and your team at COG level, please help identify the loopholes for us so that we address them now, so that the process becomes smoother for us in future. Meanwhile, the team from Homabay, we really expect you to help our governor to shine. She must shine. She has no choice. She must shine for us. And the women of this country are looking at Homabay. And so any of you, and Governor, let me appreciate the fact that you're still working with Nyokabi. It just tells what you are. Thank you very much.
Senator Mudama will allow you because...
On that note, Homabay is the sure sign of a broad-based system. Yes. You can see that we are very accommodative and we...
Senator Mudama will allow you on one account that you come from a county of ladies, like Homabay.
Yeah. We are called Machakos girls.
Yeah.
Governor, through you, Chair, I really want to commend Governor. She has been on the spot in answering the questions, not even relying so much on her team, but part of the team is letting you down. So go back and put your foot down so that next time they come here, they'll be on the spot. Congratulations for the good work that you're doing.
We end with the Senator Kisang.
Thank you very much. Mine is to say congratulations also for retaining our colleague Priscilla. You know, she's a senior advisor, and also for taking my friend Fred. Yeah. You know, that's a good team, and even the chief officer also spoke finance. He seems to understand. So basically what you need to do is just be very close, monitor closely what the accountants are doing, because you seem to know your job. And finally, on behalf of this committee also, we want to pass our condolences.
Appreciate my area member of county assembly who is also here. Yes.
Good. Because we saw in the news like Baba lost his long-time bodyguard, and I was in the gym yesterday with Baba. I had not known. I would have told him, Paul, so pass my condolences. You know, we are in the same club and we gym together.
Senator Amida, I'm tempted.
No, Chair, mine is all positive. Seriously, I commend you, Madam Governor, well done. And of course, the names that Kisang has mentioned, Priscilla and Odhiambo, they're all good friends, and I think she really has a very good team. Congratulations, Excellency. We look forward for better collaborations and discussions next time. Thank you.
Chimera, you have been out.
You know, Chair, I can just some appreciation. I was a bit to get some. Governor, asante sana, and we like what you're doing, and keep it up. And I know you're in good hands under Madam Priscilla, so I know kazi inafanya, kazi nzuri.
Let me allow the member of the county assembly to 1 minute to say.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. As had indicated earlier, I'm Honorable Waka, the Chair PAC. I want to sincerely appreciate you and thank you for the engagement. I just want to state that my governor is a working governor. and she's accommodative. We in Homabay, we always pray for her, but also as an assembly, we are doing our role. That is why she's also shining. I want to state that we are willing, ready to support her in matters legislative, and where need be, we are ready to consult with the Senate and probably make her the best governor in the entire country. Thank you, and may God bless you.
Okay. Honorable Nyokabi, because you have been part of us, just for that reason.
Yeah, thank you very, very much, members and also the governor. Just to underscore what Governor Gladys is doing in Homabay in the sense of implementing fully a rule of law county. The entire Chapter 11, we follow the law very closely, and so very, very happy with the challenges that you raise around where the law can continuously make devolution and the promise of devolution be achieved. So thank you very much. I've also been very happy to be a new Homabayan. In fact, muwe munaniita atieno.
Governor, your final comments.
Thank you very much, Chairman, and thank you very much, Honorable Senators. Thank you for the areas that you have corrected us, the areas that you pointed out that need improvement. We promise that we are going to sit down and work on those areas thoroughly. Thank you also for the very kind words. They weigh heavily on our shoulders because we can't afford to go wrong, because the promise of devolution must be attained, so that even my good deputy party leader, by the time he heads to Vihiga, it is a true county and devolution still stands. So it lies on our shoulders and yours. And I want to really thank the Senate. So first, let me start by thanking this committee of PIC. The issues that you highlight today were issues that were never brought out. Why? Because when there was just one committee of public accounts, it was never possible to deal with the municipalities or the water companies or the hospitals or the other key issues that this committee deals with. And I also want to really thank the committee. I've been here, this is probably my third or fourth time in this committee. You have always been, objective and pointing out the issues as they should be, without necessarily antagonizing or making us feel antagonized. That is appreciated. But let me thank the Senate overall for your defense of devolution. Today, we would not be speaking about the 387 billion that counties are getting. We would have been at probably 380. Today, we would not even have the additional allocations that now you passed the law if it was not for the Senate. So I'd like the Senate to know, we may not call you sometimes, we may feel like we are out there, but we appreciate you on a daily basis, the role that you're playing in protecting devolution, which is your true constitutional role. So the challenges you've given us as the Council of Governors, we're going to take them. Instead of dying in, we're always trying to see, how do you answer this query? In your heart of hearts, the shoe is pinching you. But you can't come and answer the query that the shoe, So, because sometimes we fear also, what if you say this way? What if that gentleman of the legal officer reads that section of the law? Then you, then you go under. But I think you have challenged us, and now instead of dying with the shoe pinching, we will be able to bring out practically the areas we feel that need to be adjusted and amended so that devolution works seamlessly. Thank you so much, and please receive the gratitude of the people of Homabay. And I'd also like to take this opportunity to welcome members of the committee. We will be hosting Madaraka Day on 1st of June, and also to welcome you to the Devolution Conference, which will also this year be taking place in Homabay from 12th to 15th of August. Thank you, and God bless. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Governor, for first of all honoring our invitation to come before us. Indeed, you are among the governors who believe in accountability. We know that there was some strange ruling that was done by the courts that gave us very strict timelines to process audited reports, which is very impractical. but you have appeared before us, not because of the court ruling, but because of the need to respond to accountability issues. And members have made very kind remarks to you because of the performance of the water company. When you appeared before us, the company was making losses. There were a lot of many problems, but we are happy that within a period of 1 year, you have been able to make the company make profit. There are some loose ends which we have given you directions on what needs to be done, and we hope that the people of Homabay will have access to clean, safe drinking water as we move forward. I also want to say that we as senators, we are very passionate about the defense of devolution, and we want to join the governors in saying that the devolution is under attack. And as senators, we will not allow this to go on. We are seeing members of parliament, members of the National Assembly, now wants to take over markets, they want to take over roads, they want to take over hospitals. I mean, I think this should not allow it to go on. So we stand with you in that, and we encourage you to feel free to share your concerns to us, particularly the concerns we have not under the Urban Areas and the Cities Act, and many other areas, so that we can address those concerns. As I thank you very much. I'm very happy as your deputy party leader that I'm having a performing chairperson of the ODM party.
Have you seen the governor of Kajiado?
Yeah. Thank you very much. The meeting is adjourned.